5. Yo, Joseph, what's up, dude? What's good up in the Northland? Freezing cold temperatures or mild? Did you go to the New England fishing show? Grimy? AJ, John, Marty, staying warm. I guess that's a good thing. All right, I gotta pick eyeball colors. I know this is what this is getting. Jeremy, yellow. Yellow. I don't know about those. Maybe. Let's see these. Let's try these. See if this looks better. I don't know what we're going for here. Oh, maybe red's the one. Maybe one of each. Maybe I should stick with the red. Oh no. Maybe I should stick with the red theme. Looks like the Terminator. Oh, I think I'm gonna pass on the red. Hot in Nebraska. Joseph did not go stand in line to get a Piz swim bait. Sitting out at an abandoned boat ramp tuning baits. John, abandoned boat ramps are usually sketch AF. Hope you got your piece on you. Bobby Bossel, what's up? About 35. Sounds like you're having a heat wave. MLF is on. How about that? I went through some of their posts that they posted about, hey, it's day one. And I don't know that there was one positive comment. Everybody in the comments section on Facebook and Instagram was blasting them for not having coverage on day one. What's your problem, AJ? Have you had bluegill blockage? All the guys are out deep watching forward-facing sonar. Sounds lame. Maybe block it. Maybe block it's right. New paint. Ooh, fancy. So you're trying to relearn colors, basically. Well, you catch an 11 and it literally means nothing. That is a difficult task you have ahead of you, AJ. You should whip that up pretty quick, but it is not the most amusing thing to do. Burns, I did see the clip of dude catching the buzzerfish. I enjoyed that. I didn't get the water temp. I'm assuming low 50s. It's really quiet in here. It's odd. Only open water you could find. Well, I know that's where all the sketch bags like to hang out. The old boat ramp, the abandoned boat ramps. That's where the grimies hang out. Let's see. I gotta find the red eyes. What size are these? Too big. Maybe these will work. Mid 50s. Wonder if he's throwing one today. Wonder if he's throwing. What size is this? Seems like a 6.5. Yeah, that's way too big. Where's my 5.5s, dudes? No agenda. Just trying to stick eyeballs on stuff. You know, the huge. Trying to find eyeballs that fit. I learned scales are way easier when your paint actually dries. Correct. Correct, AJ. What size eye is this? It's weird. Grimy was a Freudian slip. I did not mean you specifically, just grimy characters. Yeah, there's wood. Just grabbed a couple cool ones for you to paint some cracked up baby hawks. I'm sure it looks like this, because they all do. They all look like crap, but oh well. I could fix that one, but I don't really want to. So I'm leaving it as is. I'm leaving it in all its beat up baby hawk glory. What size eye is this? That's too small. Am I not going to have enough red eyes? Because if I don't have enough red eyes, that's going to be a problem. Because I need a lot. A lot. I'm going to have to, if I don't have enough, I'm going to have to start digging on the ground and picking them up off the ground. Oh, see, I just lost one. Oh. That's one out of the pile. Yeah, I think these are 5mm. I thought 5.5 would work, but the 5.5 looked huge. I think my 5.5s maybe got mislabeled, because they're more like 6s. This isn't good. Red's okay. That ugly one going to land a 8-pounder in Mobile Bay, probably. I do have some Mobile stuff over here. That's like the juice down here. I don't know where else is Mistake the Juice. In Kyle Land, I know it is. So obviously on southern rivers and tributaries, brackish, kind of swampy places, it's the juice. I'm sure up the East Coast it's good. I don't know about the middle of the world, like AJ Land. Yeah, I could see it working in Arkansas good. Morgan, I thought about our conversation about how, which is the title of the video, how odd fish can get on red, like how picky they can get. And anybody from East Texas or down here or anywhere that red gets thrown a lot, you start seeing fish that would turn down like a Rayburn red in favor for a different shade of red. And, you know, to the average guy that doesn't throw red but like once a year, probably don't care. But for guys that throw red a lot and live places where red gets eaten, you see odd behavioral differences in fish preference of which shade of red. And I don't know that you see it in a, is like, I feel like it's a red thing specifically. Um, I don't know why it is, but certain reds outperform other reds at time, and I don't know that it's explainable, but Bassing with Big Malone coming in with the promise reference today early. Nice move. Seen it with greens. What bait are you throwing that's solid green? Give up the juice, Morgan. Are you talking about accent greens, or are you talking about like soft plastics? Or are you throwing a solid green wigglewort style baits? I could see that. I could see that. So I did a cornucopia of reds. This is a throwback to a old Norman color. It's not nearly as red. It's more strawberry in real life. And the green is not accurate to what it's supposed to be, but that's just kind of what I wanted to paint it. And but this was an old Norman color that me and Pryor were talking about. And so I painted some of those just farting around. But that's a Morgan. That's a I think that's popular in your neck of the woods. So it was ironic that Pryor and I were talking about that, and then I was on Facebook and somebody was talking about I don't know, some colors or discontinued stuff. The guy was like, that fried tomato Norman is like the best color they ever came out with. And multiple people chimed in, was like, yeah, that color's the juice. But it's an odd red. It's kind of got a strawberry look to it, but it has red glitter in it, or red flake, and I have gold in mine, so it's a little variation of it, but I liked it. And then I did like I don't even know what you'd call this. I like mixing in white a lot of times in the early spring, because you get like white with red. Because for some reason, dirty water white just shows up good. So yeah, it's that's a good. I need my paper. Where's my paper? Hot copper would be, and I put the gold glitter on that one. But I won't catch one. But I like to have my white options. I did some Mortal Kombat shit where I just did a bloodbath. And then grayed out the back, put the dead eye on it. It's got a little gold on it. For those Clearwater shad, but still red guys. We got the darker kind of fried green tomato look. I'm actually a very large fan of the very very dark reds. I think they are underutilized. It is an underutilized red. Um, Brennan, yeah, Little Debbie, it would is like when you dissect the color, it's like it's pre-spawn juice. Like it's a really good color. Like if I would not hesitate to throw the Little Debbie during the pre-spawn. Um, but I like this one a lot. Kind of reminds me of some old color you'd see on a bandit. But this is probably going to be the best one. Catch the most fish. And guess how many I did? One. Because I had an odd number of baits, and that was the one solo I had left. And I said, I'll just do something weird on that. So then I got some skunks, skunk B2s. That red y'all liked, I just put, instead of a black dot, I put a gold dot on it. Did that one again because I got some requests for it. What else? Oh, I got real weird. I wanted to do like a bull brim with the black flakes like Lucky Craft does, except I wanted to do a hot pink and lime green, like all neon trout. And I don't know what made me want to do that, but I think it would work good this time of year. No, those are B1s, excuse me. They look like B2s. And then for some reason, I did another one. I did another trout, except I did a splatter trout with a silver belly. It looks pretty mean. I did some other little red kind of roadkilly crawl thing, like that one. Good clear watercolor. I did kind of like the darker blue crab. Just random stuff. Not random, but kind of. These were random. The trout was random. I just wanted to see what that would look like. Oh, I almost forgot. My new favorite color. I have to name this color because I'm going to do it more. I might add this one to the rotation. This was my take on coleslaw, like a coleslaw spinnerbait. It doesn't look like it, but the scales fade from chartreuse to orange. You know how coleslaw and a spinnerbait just got that one orange and chartreuse, like couple strands of that in a white skirt. That's pretty much what I have here. The only thing that would have made it, now that I look at it, I might do this again, except instead of a black back, do a white back. So I like it. I Well, I guess I'm just JDM. No, Brennan, it's not JDM-ish. And there's just that I had requests for the old Fritz bone khaki whatever shad, whatever that Norman color is. I mean, not Norman, that Rapala color that they discontinued. That's a play on that. So we'll see. IDOT time. Yeah, I got to go test baits. I got a whole box. I know I want to do 1.5s again, Burns. I was thinking about that. I said I hadn't done 1.5s in a while. Those were really good. So I would like to see that. I would like to see that coleslaw with a white back. I think that would look nasty. I wish I had more set up to paint. I'd go paint them right now. But I need to make a note of that. Paint that color with a white back. I bet that would show up awesome this time of year. The little dinge in the water. Disco Louisiana shad. You know, I don't know that I've ever painted Louisiana shad on anything I've ever dropped. And that was probably my favorite color for damn near a decade. It was the only one I know. Like, it was the only bait I threw. Bandit 200. Louisiana shad. Caught everything. And then all of a sudden one day, it stopped. Don't know why. Don't know what happened. What's up, Travis? I just I don't get it. I don't get it. So I had to move on. I had to move on. 6.5s. I guess I could always color these. I could always paint these. Like one of these. There's some 5.5. I'm guessing 5.5. Should be good for those. Oh, I could do. Speaking of JDM, I could do. Could do jackal eyes. Rat brains. Yeah. How about that baby crank to go with it? We could do that. I sent Marty a bait, and he said, "That's a nice bait. Who made it?" I said, "You did, Burns." He said, "I don't even know what that is." I said, "Well, you sent it to me. It's awesome." He said, "Oh." Brendan, have you had good luck on the rat brains? I didn't think I'd heard much rat brain out of you. Weatherman said, "Snow scooping is in Travis's future." That doesn't sound good. I don't like the way that sounds. Do I like that eye? Kind of. I just hate putting in these downward looking eyes because you have to be so specific on placement or it looks dumb. Like your eye has to be positioned perfectly. It's really a nuisance. Come on, what's a nuisance is when these eyeballs stick to the paper and you rip up 100 of them to get your eyeball out, and you just get one. AJ, have you figured out how to combat that? When you get a page of crappy eyes that stick to the paper, and then you try to peel them up, and all you have is eyes stuck to paper. Because I've gone through about 10 right now just since we've been talking, and not one has released from the paper. The paper is just pulled up. There's one. $68. The fish eat them better if the bait has a lazy eye. Possibly. Possibly. Where is my red sheet? And I'll put this one back. AJ, please tell me the secret. There's two. Man, that was a lot of work to just get two eyes. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go with those. We're going gold. Later, Bobby. I have a bait painter question. Let's hear it, Travis. This should be interesting. These are really old eyes, AJ. I bought them like way long ago. I don't even remember who they came from. They might be 6th Sense eyes. Like I might have got these from Casey. That's probably why he sold them to me cheap. Dick. Joseph, they are. They are. With the exception of, I don't know if I'm going to keep the old one-off. Maybe not. I'll let it go. I might keep it. Remains to be seen. You might see that one on there. It might disappear. I don't know. Yeah, all of this is website stuff. Skunks. Broke Dick Red. Coleslaw. Bone. Tomato stuff. It's a blowout sale. I bought some of the new fat-free guppies in white. What's the best way to add blue to the top of them? Not wanting to do the Epic Eric nail polish. Sharpie? If you don't want to do nail polish, I would say Sharpie would be your best bet. Or some Spike It dye. Which blue is kind of hard to find in the Spike It, but they do sell it. You'd have to reapply it, but it would probably look decent. Or just send them to AJ and he'll put blue on the back for free. He's a nice guy like that. I feel like at that point you're just putting nail polish on, though, AJ. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna go get enamel testers, you might as well just go get nail polish. And at least with nail polish, you get an applicator brush. What's the beef with nail polish? $120 lures turned into 130. That's good for good for sales. That's what I'm saying. If you're looking for a quick color fix, nail polish is your friend. Four hours later. AJ, I need to send you a picture. I was talking to a guy last night on Instagram, and you know what he said? Hey, buddy, I'm getting an airbrush. Good for you, dude. What do I need? What do I need to know? So I gave him a rundown, and I was thinking, I should probably make a video about this and just go through this guy's questions because they were all good questions. And I think a lot of people could use it as a resource that would be beneficial. Because one thing I told him that I didn't understand when I was coming up was I think I talked to Burns about it in like 2012. Um, but was black. Like when I would spray black, it would always have that little bit of splattery look. Like you could see like the pigment like not completely smoothed out. And it really bothered me. And I think I asked Burns, it's like, how do I get my paint to do this? And it's like, you don't use Createx. You use solvent based paint. It's like, oh, really? And I kept trying and trying and trying to get like that smoky eye where it looks just like smoke or like a fog where the edges are perfectly feathered and you can't like you don't see any pigment or anything, no splattery edges. And I can never get that with any of the other paint. I'm sure they probably make something now water based that's like decent that you can do that with, but back then I could never find the right paint to give me that look. But I was digging up a picture to show the guy an example of what water based versus solvent based looks like. And I found a picture of some perch I had painted in water based, and then I found perch I had painted in solvent based. And when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, that's a lot. Um, John, is that golden or is it polytranspar or but like a guy getting going, you don't want to order from McKinsey's because they're gonna ream you. You buy a bottle of paint from them and your shipping's $24. Um, I don't think there would be something else out there that was cheaper alternatives. Somebody's got to make a decent black now. Maybe they make like a black ink. AJ, you mess with any of the inks? I did it by almost never using black. Yeah, that's one way to do it. If you can get your, I guess you can mix some brown and blue and make you like a dark, almost black, and it's close enough. Got to get the fog paint. The fog paint is key. The fog paint is key. Where's AJ? Check this out. Tell me which is which, AJ. I just sent it to you on the gram. Sepia. 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 I guess these are getting gold eyes because that's what I have that fits. Golden is good. Auto Air and Wicked are pretty good. Yeah, I used to use Auto Air was my favorite. Their colors were the best to me. Oh, you know who I bet is good that Hobby Lobby sells now? That Mr. Color. I bet their black is good. I bet their black is good. Burns, I haven't stretched it out. It looks small. It looks small, but I'll get it stretched out and see what I can see if I can get it shaped right. Come on, eyeballs. Come on, man. The one we have down here does, yes. Correct. They do indeed have Mr. Color. I don't, ours has only acrylic. Johnny Jenkins, what's up, dude? You think you like the Golden's jet or carbon black? Will it fog? Will it perfectly fog an eyeball? Golden carbon black is one step above Vanta black. It is blacker than Vanta black. You spray your bait with it and your bait just disappears. I like that. I like the way that sounds. Excuse me. One step before. Oh. I'll say it sounds like some pretty good stuff. Brendan, what do you know about Mr. Color, bro? You watched enough YouTube videos that you saw these little Japanese guys using it, and you said, what is this? What is this paint that all these guys are using? Tamaya probably does. Yep. But at the time when I was shopping, I would buy I would buy Auto Air or Wicked, which I thought were like as good as it got, right? And I would order those. And if those sucked, I'm like, well, it's not like this is the best paint that I know to get. Like, if these are terrible, then maybe it doesn't exist. Maybe what I'm looking for is not available. I don't hate Wicked. I made a career out of Wicked. With the exception of my Aztec Pearl White. I sprayed so much detail black and detail moss green, it was absurd. Moss green was my favorite. Moss green was my fave. If you didn't use thinner, that would be a problem. That would be a problem. That's why you can't trust the internet. That's why I try to tell. That's what I told the dude. I was like, here's another tip that I'm going to put on the video. Don't listen to people who review airbrushes on fishing lure groups because, first off, any airbrush you open out of the package is going to spray awesome. They all do. They're brand new. Oh, I tried a, you know, whatever Harbor Freight sprayed pretty good. Yeah, it was new. Oh, I sprayed a Iwata Eclipse. It sprayed just the same. Yeah. Been spraying with a bent needle for 2 weeks. That's because you don't have a cap on your damn airbrush. I don't know what is wrong with y'all that y'all think y'all just float around with no cap on. Somebody else, Jen posted a bent needle. What are y'all doing? Needleless, needle capless people, dude. Make needle caps great again. That's only a little bit. It seems like it's doing fine. Hello, Lurker. Burns, you're exactly right. The whole time I didn't know what I was looking for, but the whole time I was looking for solvent-based paint. I just didn't know it. I just did not know it. And Burns told me, but I still wasn't sure what I was looking for. I remember you telling me that, Burns, because I think I sent you a picture of a bait, and I said, how did the guy get the back to look like this? And you said, it's about 50 passes of thin lacquer paint, or however, like it was a bunch of passes to like build up and get that look. And interesting. Interesting. Oh, oh. Gross. Oh, we got super glue spill. Watching MLF is equivalent to watching a baby monitor. Yeah, I don't think people are happy with the MLF coverage. It doesn't seem like. Doesn't seem like people are thrilled. Bent the trigger. You must have been really gripping, bro. Did you drop it? I drop my airbrush a lot. That's typically where all the damage comes from to any of my airbrushes, is they get dropped at some point. But yeah, there was some good dialogue going on last night with the guy, which my water based experience is about 10 years old. So I'm sure, like I said, there's alternatives now that can get you a little closer. I think Spastics would make a good black. Maybe. Their stuff shoots awesome out of the bottle. They might make a good black. Like I said, like finding that black, you would probably just need to take and find every black imaginable and buy them all and then just see which one works. Because you could use them all eventually for other stuff. You just need that one for doing like eyes and gill plates and stripes. You could use the sucky stuff for doing backs and stuff where you don't notice as much. But I don't know. I need a water-based expert on here. He used that chartreuse last night. Shoots great and is very chartreusey. Yes, spastic chartreuses. Very chartreuse. When you see it, once you spray it, it's not what I personally use, but once you have sprayed it, you then begin to see it. As in, you see somebody's bait that was painted, and you immediately recognize the chartreuse. Black Label, for instance. But it's funny once you get a hold of a color and you see it, you're like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. That's Fireball Red. I recognize that one. All right. Those all have eyes. These almost have eyes. I think I'm going to go. Might go red on these. Maybe. %90 are watching a screen. That sounds pretty lame. Okay, Terminator Eyes it is. Those look good. Terminator Eyes are going on this one. I don't like screen watching. Apparently I'm not the only one though. Me and Randy. I stand with Randy. Probably not terribly fast, Brendan. Probably not terribly fast. It depends on who's come out of their cocoons and gotten fired up for fishing. Oh, there's my. I've been looking for this side buster. I thought I'd lost it, but it's here. I think people are coming out of their little hutches to get fired up about fishing, because like it's typically like second, third week in January. You can tell people start thinking about it, and you start getting messages. Hey, I'd like to get some baits painted. Okie dokie. I can see that being a plus, Burns. Just go all transparent colors. Don't need opaques unless you're base coating. And then you only need white and opaque black. Everything else, transparent. Let's see here. Come on, no, rip the paper. That one came free. That one's free. How about that? I got lucky. There we go. There we go. The way to get rid of ground hornets, probably not where wanting to blow up the yard. Well, I had some, and are they the little ones? I did exactly what Anthony said. I poured gasoline down the hole and threw a match on it. Bone, I always forget about bone. I do forget about bone. Bone is essential. And chartreuse, and red, and orange, and yellow. All decent base coat colors. The big ones, oh. Probably gasoline. I would say get your face mask on. And your chaps and whatever other stuff you have, gloves. And get the gasoline out. You're not going to blow anything up. You're just going to catch the ground on fire. Should be. We've had enough rain that you shouldn't start a county-wide, wildfire. Like I wouldn't pour 5 gallons on it, but give it a couple sips. Yeah, the base coats for me with the watery stuff is pretty much black, white, or buttermilky. Everything else is transparent from there. Good tip. Good tip. I guess that's what gives you a smooth edge. Travis, that's weird. Burns, what fun is it to let the vapor kill them? That's no fun. Let them burn. Let Brennan get a little scorched to earth. He's young. He's young and heartless. He needs to watch the ground melt. Gotcha, I try. Ah, I caught the crud. I think I got it from Amy. She's a super spreader. I don't know if any of your other significant others are super spreaders that just go and cough up into everybody else's environment. But Tannerite. Jeremy's been pretty brutal. Morgan, what do you use? You use golden for your base? Ooh, grass by March. I need to get out there and look. I think I'm gonna go next week. If I sell all these baits, I'll go fishing next week for like 2 hours. Because I got bills to pay. Anthony, I can confirm. I can confirm that The dish soap does work. I do it on wasp nests that are under the eave of the house. Uh, it's pretty amazing. Bobby, did he build them? Dawn does work. I don't know how it works, but it works. I don't know if it's going to kill them or not, but they fall on the ground and then you can step on them at least, which is what I typically do. Yeah, I don't know that I'd try it for a hole in the ground full of pissed off hornets. Brendan, I did get a message yesterday, a couple actually, um, informing me that you should be publicly shamed for a question you asked on Todd Kesseldine's live question and answer chat. Do you remember the question? What was it? Travis. His question got popped up on the screen from BBC. And Brendan's question was, let me read it directly. I've got the screenshot someone sent me. Let's see here. Have you used the Strike Pro Bubba or the Big Bubba much? Have you used the Strike Pro Bubba much? Todd Kesseldine, have you used this bait much? Did he say, yes, in fact, I've used it so much that I convinced Strike King to partner with Strike Pro and sell thousands of them? Jeremy laughed. That's pretty funny. You're going to learn today. Yes. Yes, Todd Kesseldine. Well, Brendan, I think you got a pass because people thought you were being a troll and everybody thought it was funny. So you came out smelling like a rose. So from now on any of Todd's streams, I will probably get on there and ask him if he's thrown a Bubba. He's like the Bubba King. Yeah, he's one of like 10 people in the US that had Bubbas and knew what to do with them. Probably less than 10. I asked him some doozies. I didn't I made it through like the first 5 minutes and they were all Casey's questions. I was like, damn, Casey's hogging up all the damn question time. I think he just rapid fired them when they got in there and got going. I saw Megabass as a Strike King knockoff. AJ, what would they be knocking off? What would Megabass potentially want that Strike King has? Todd, do you like fishing Sam Rayburn? That was my response. Bill Dance, have you ever fished a private pond? Bill Dance, have you ever thrown a fat-free shad. Hank Parker, have you ever heard of a man's classic spinnerbait? Bobby Barrick, have you ever thrown a Bobby's Perfect Frog? You're not supposed to ask questions until you're 22. Brendan, once you can drink, you can start asking questions on Todd's streams again. You're in timeout. Oh, now's where the fun starts. Let them bring them in. Do you like fishing tournaments in Texas? This is good. Brendan, don't run away. Don't run away. You asked for this. You asked for this. BBC is your ass on fire. Brendan, have you ever thrown a 316 workhorse? Brendan, have you ever heard of a working class zero citizen? Marty, have you ever carved a wooden crankbait? Ask Todd if he's next stream. I'm going to get Todd with, hey, Brown Bait Company isn't here, but he asked me to ask you, have you ever sight fished in Texas? Is sight fishing good in Texas? Have you ever spooled up a reel with big game? Yeah. TK, have you tried 15-pound big game before? What's that? Never heard of it. Never heard of her. Mr. Clun, have you ever thrown a 1.5? Oh, this is good. This is good. To that was a question yesterday. Someone asked Todd if he had thrown the 7-inch Citizen. Did he answer? Did he answer? I'm thinking triple dot eyes maybe on these. I might be crazy, but it's early enough in the afternoon that I might have time to 3-dot some. Let's see here. TK, do you fish balsa lures much? If I had one, I'd probably throw it. I heard they're real good. TK, have you ever had your kids get you sick? No. Dude, I don't know where these came from, but I've got some like real megabass eyes. They're legit. I don't know who they came from, but they're good. TK, have you ever heard of Tacklecraft? You should look up this guy on Instagram that paints baits. His name is Tacklecraft. Check him out. Thanks for the tip, Brendan. Doc, did you really know it? Man, this is going to have to be a weekly segment now. Jason Christie, have you ever used Hildebrandt blades? AJ, have you ever painted a crawl? Marty, have you ever tried the Jackal Blink? Who was the guy that didn't know Zoom cranks and Zoom plastics was the same person? Oh, Eric bringing the fire. TK, have you ever seen a train piston hold a door open? Ooh, nice one, Eric. I don't know, Travis. That sounds BBC-ish. I don't know, though. It could be anyone. Oh, man. This is the good stuff. I'm glad I brought it up. I felt bad for a minute, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't publicly flame young BBC. Nah. Let's roast him. Let's roast his ass. Have you seen the fire paint jobs from you know who? I would say yes, but they blocked me, so no. Like, if you've ever heard of a baby 1 minus, it is how you learn. AJ, but you're a full-grown adult. I feel like we can break young Brendan. Your skin's thick. I think his is in the process of getting thicker, but the internet will do that to you. If you ever thrown a fish in the freezer to get it mounted and have to clean it out 10 years later, might be good. That might be 15 plus. You're not one of us until you get publicly roasted. Agreed. Agreed. All right. I might have to get off here to do triple dot eyes. It might take some concentration. Went all the way to Minnesota to hear Coengler jokes for 2 days. I don't feel like those really started until the last day, and then I think they started flowing pretty good. It will be thicker. Oh, Brenda's never going to ask another question on the internet on the public live streams again. He's going to send them through now he's going to have a burner account. He's going to have it's not going to be Brown Bait Co. It's going to be Tan Bait Co. Sepia Bait Co. Burner Bait Co. Perfect, Eric. Ask Manson if he's ever tried a Ned rig. Travis, have you ever caught a smallmouth? And if so, did you find that drop shotting was an effective technique? Did you see the bait I just posted with triple dots? No, did I paint it? Let's look. Have you ever used a Strike Pro, Bubba? Frank, you would think he would have used his layup question that he asked everybody. Tony Big Baits? Great question. Oh yeah, I've got AJ, I'm just looking at your trigger assembly. My clear coat trigger looks like that. My clear coat gun. Oh, he's back. Thank you for making my day. Bobby Balsa, have you tried using a Balsa crankbait yet? Bobby Balsa. Did you know that some people's names are Robert? Have you heard that? It will pass in time. Just got to let the new wear off. He just left in hopes that the flaming would stop. Oh, he gets back online where he left off later. 30 minutes later, still getting flamed. I asked Todd's what reel he's going to a few times because his loses just doing the whole wads, but still not answered. I think that means he's not going to go to a reel. Jeremy, I mean, wouldn't you take it as that he's just going to continue to use the old ones and not mention reels? I still get muffin jokes 2 years later. Ben Milliken, have you ever heard of LiveScope? And if so, do you find it's an effective way to fish swim baits? Ben Milliken, will you have LiveScope installed on your boat for your 2024 Elite Series debut? Chatterbait, it's fun. Had to talk to some dude. PVC, we are not buying it, bro. We are not buying it. We may be dumb, but we're not stupid. Randy Blockage, did you ever go hardcore hogging? I haven't. Has anybody seen Blockett? Has he been talking about hardcore hogging lately? Or is he done with hogging? Is he hogged out? Sprague, have you ever snatched a fish off a bed that didn't have your bait in its mouth? Question for the ages. PVC will be lurking. Lurker. I need black. If I'm triple dotting, I need black, and it is a waste of paint, and it is a waste of time, Burns, but it damn sure looks good. Jeremy, you're that anti-Randy. I like I like when he gets on and he bitches about getting views and people not liking fishing videos and only wanting him to talk about nothing, which is idiotic because he's complaining that he doesn't have to tell anybody any of his juice. He doesn't have to show any of his favorite baits. He doesn't have to show any of his hack. All the stuff that he's learned over the 40 years of bass fishing, he doesn't have to show. He can keep it all to himself. Instead, he just has to talk about why LiveScope sucks and why, development of rural areas is shitty, and global warming, and why whatever else is a hot topic in bass fishing that involves nothing. Like, He's just doing what I'm doing right now. Just gives his opinion for 7 to 12 minutes, and he's done. What's the problem? Or have you ever thought about buying an island for scandalous activities? They keep rolling in. Y'all keep y'all keep bringing them, and I'll read them all aloud. Crow design. Have you ever tried a Nessie? Uh, I didn't know it was hidden, but there have been quite a few different people that made a similar concept to a cheddar long before Z-Man. The one from our generation that never took off was the Acre Shaker, and I owned Acre Shakers. But the funny thing about it that I've talked about a couple times is that I never once thought to put a jig on it. I only put a worm on it. But just think how the game would have changed. You got to think there's probably somebody out there that had an Acre Shaker that put a jig on it and like scorched their ass. Maybe. I don't know. Mr. Hawkins, have you tried the new Jordans yet? I think Randy needs to stick to YouTube and get out of the elites. I mean, what is he fishing now? Nothing? Do we know? Do we have any clue what Randy will be fishing next year? He's not in the elites. Later, Anthony. Just fishing more local stuff. I mean, I think the dude has got it made, if you ask me. You ask me. He can sit at home, film 7-minute videos all day long of just him like giving his opinion. Not have to talk about fishing stuff. I mean, he's got his little private group. He could always talk about his. He could always get his fishing, you know, knowledge out there. Um, but if he really had to get it out, damn, this is really hard to see. Dotting I's on this. Toyota. Huh. It'll be that'll be interesting to see. He hit YouTube at just the right time. Yeah, I don't know what the perfect. I don't know what the appeal was with Randy, but um, for some reason he interests people. He always has. Like for some reason, his name has always been floating around in relevancy of bass fishing. Like if you go back through a lot of the old like Bassmasters and all that kind of stuff, like Randy got a lot of FaceTime. And which I mean, would you consider him a superstar back then? I don't know that I would consider Randy a superstar. Like he was definitely not on par with like Nixon or George Cochran or any of those guys, but I mean, he was popular. We triple dotting the mistakes. Why not? Why not? The reason the 110 exists. There you go. Pretty good claim to fame, right? That's a pretty good claim to fame. They're coming, Kyle. Don't worry. They're coming. Next batch. Yuki Ito was tired of tuning his rogues. Is that what he said? Or are you joking? That would be a cool story, though. What am I getting buzzed about? I gotta go to a Mardi Gras ball tonight, boys. Gotta wear a tux and tails. True story. That is what it says on the Megabass website. How about that? How about that? I don't know that I've ever been to the Megabass website. I don't know that I've ever directly purchased a Megabass bait. Like, I don't think I've ever gone to a store or ordered online a Megabass lure. I know I've never bought a 110. I'm trying to think if there's anything else Megabass sells that I would have bought. I don't feel like Megabass takes input on shit. Uh, you know what I mean? Like Megabass does what Megabass does. They don't listen to pointers. I don't know. Like, well, does anybody have any like signature series Megabass stuff? Like, have they ever given a pro like a bait and said this is the whoever, you know? If Megabass would have let Zaldane do what he wanted, he'd still be with them. Yeah, probably. That's another reason I don't I don't think they care. Like they're Megabass because they're Megabass, and if they start taking outside influence from pros and whoever else, and they get away from like how they do stuff, that kind of takes away from who they are. You know what I mean? Like they're mega bass because they build badass shit without somebody telling them how to do it. Beaver still has a crawl color named after him. So that's the peak, right? That's as good as it gets. All right. Now we wait. Aaron's had some rods, but they wouldn't give him a hard bait, which is weird. I own a 110 and never fished it. I prefer the Pointer 78. Pointer 78 is good bait. I've got some 110s, but I got them like randomly. Like I think I bought a couple lots of baits, and then there was some like random megabass stuff in there. Some small ones. I don't ever throw them. I've gotten a couple of them from guys that have dicked up my orders, like buying stuff online, used stuff, and dicked up my orders, and then been like, "Hey, I'll throw a 110 in there to like bury the hatchet, and whatever. I don't care." The gong, yeah, I paint quite a few of the gongs, believe it or not, Kyle. Have I painted a gong for you? I've painted all kinds of gongs over the years, surprisingly, a surprising amount. All right. Now we wait. And let me call Amy. I'm gonna get off of here. Been on here an hour and a half. I'm gonna get off of here and call Amy and see what time I got to be out of here. Oh, speaking of little jerk baits, well, I won't talk about it. Not my place to speak. Maybe a camper show. We'll talk about it. Had a 110 for a long time until I actually caught fish with one. Small like they would not eat a 110. What causes that, Travis? Because there's I feel like there's certain bodies of water that lend themselves to certain baits, and certain fish just don't respond to a certain vibration of a bait or something. I don't know if it's because for the longest time on the Alabama River, I never could get them to bite a fat-free shad. Ever. Like I thought the fish were like immune to a fat-free shad, and I just wrote it off as these fish do not like fat-free shads. I can't catch them on a fat-free shad. I can catch them on a bunch of different stuff, and a fat-free shad is really low on the totem pole. And then you meet a guy, you're like talking to a buddy of yours, and it's like, "What bait you throwing?" Fat-free shad, BD7 or whatever it is. It's like, you throw that a lot? It's like, yeah, it's the only one I throw up there. Smash them on it. Interesting. And then it just throws all your previous knowledge out the window. Lake, you tried swim baiting for 3 years and not a single fish. I don't know. Maybe it's just how they set up. I don't think it's bait. I just think it's like how they're used to feeding or something. I don't know. I mean, a fish is a fish, so they say, right? Oh, yeah. Little to no sleep last night, per usual. But all right, I'll keep you boys posted on these baits. They should be done tomorrow, hopefully. I got to go return my tux tomorrow. Then I'll come up here hopefully and finish these, clear coat them, And I might matte finish some of these against Brendan's will, but I might matte finish some. Maybe. I'm feeling froggy. I'm feeling wild. We'll see. I need to go charge my batteries, and then I can go take the boat out and go see what's jiving. My buddy Keith, I'll give you all a report. My buddy Keith said that the fish in his pond just north of here are already nesting. It's around the corner, boys. Sorry for you up northers, but it's getting close to going down here in South Alabama. So y'all be good. Look out for the nesters, and talk to y'all later. See ya.